Look out, coach. So he's only getting 2 free throws. But
We are here, halftime, the Crunchtime, Knicks podcast. Yo, man, it's just like deja vu every single game, man. The Knicks were down by I think as much as 17. I'm just saying that off the top of the head. Tom Thibodeau's doing his best that he can, substituting and things of that nature. On my clock, I still got like a couple seconds left. I see on the screen too, still 3 seconds left. I'm probably gonna have somebody coming in here today. One of the favorites that pops in usually when the games are early. So 3:30 is definitely like too early for me to do these things, but I happen to be off today. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, guys. I forgot to say Happy New Year. So I'm happy to see 22 here, man. 2021. With all this COVID stuff, man, 2022, I'm hoping that this is like the last bit of it. And we could just get back to normal, man. We in Toronto. They got a new name for the arena. There's no fans in the stands. Are we back to that now, man? So it's like, so it is what it is. Like I said, we should be having a guest pretty soon in a second to pop in. But in the meantime, let's get into these keys for the game before we get up in here and start talking the stuff that we talk here. First quarter was pretty even, 27 to 30. Today is the second quarter of depth. We were down. What is this? 8 points in the third quarter, second quarter. Excuse me, 26 to 28. So I mean, it is what it is, man. The Knicks are just we talk about class of teams. The Knicks are just not in their class right now because we are short. If we had Julius Randle, and if we had Mitchell Robinson, we'll be able to compete with these guys a little bit better. But I still think we have enough talent. We have Taj Gibson out there. You got Obi Toppin. Burks is still there. What's his name? RJ's still there. So we should still be able to compete, man. So, there's really no excuse. If we're short, whatever. Do you like Randall or not? So it is what it is. Shot chart. This is the Knicks shot chart. Let's take a look at that first. Knicks are just doing what they always do. Shots at the rim. Toronto doesn't really have a shot blocker. These chippies in the paint here, we missing those. Corner threes. We're not shooting any corner threes. Everything's from the top. So that's why our jump shots are not really going in. The Knicks seem to be going up and down, not really setting up offense and really they're not really making good decisions with the ball today. Toronto is basically the same type of thing. We're lucky that they missed a lot of threes today. They shot a lot of them all in the same spot, but they just missed them. So if they made some of these shots that they were missing out here, this game would be blown out of proportion. So it was blown out of proportion a couple times, man. But the Knicks were able to bring it back. As I say that, 17-point lead at one point by the Toronto Raptors. Right now we're basically double-digit lead right now. Longest run was 10. Goes without saying. We were down by 17 at one point. Toronto Raptors been on a few runs today. Knicks too. Knicks have made their comebacks and stuff. Rebounds, man. Rebound is the key for this game. 27 to 20. I'll talk about that in a second. Everything else is basically the same. Blocks, Knicks are not gonna have their blocks because their shot blockers are not there. Assists and steals about the same. Turnovers, 10 to 8. That's a little bit too many turnovers for the Knicks. But Toronto creates turnovers, so that's about even, 8 and 10. Shooting from the field, 46 and 43 is about even. 3-point percentage is about even. Free throw percentage is about even. So this is all an effort game today. Points in the paint. Look at that, man. 28 to 18. So I mean, this is not just because Mitchell Robinson is not there. Because when Mitchell Robinson is there, this number is always usually the same. 28 to 18 points in the paint. It's still the same, no matter if we have our Mitchell Robinson or not. Second chance points, same thing, 8 to 5. That's very consistent every single game, especially with a loss. Second chance points and this always get killed. We just can't secure rebounds as a team. It's not, like I said, it's not just on Mitch Robinson because this is exactly the same when Mitch Robinson is there. Fast break points, 16 to 4. That's the game right there. This is typical. Every time we play against a team like Toronto, we're gonna get smoked in the fast break points. We just guys are not getting back. They're losing their guy. Everybody's watching the ball. Nobody's seeing their man. And that's really the keys to this game here. How do we win? How do we win this game? We got to compete. We got to compete on the boards. The discrepancy, 28 to 18, that's big, man. So we got to compete on the board, secure the rebounds, because the Knicks are, not for nothing, they're playing good defense. We're just not securing the rebound. I think Wiley and Breen said that a few times during the telecast, man. It's like, listen, man, the guys are playing good, but you can't the play's not over till you get the rebound. That is so important. The Knicks are just not a really good rebounding team. We're missing Julius Randle. Julius Randle rebounds the ball. And if people want to put it on Mitchell Robinson that he's such a great rebounder, then he's not in the game too, man. But like I said, these stats are always the same every damn game. It freaking sucks, man. So let's talk about the box score. A couple guys missing. RJ Barrett, he has 6 points. If he finished the game with 12 and 8 because he has 4 rebounds, I guess that would be a good game, right? But RJ just not playing good, man. He's just not playing well. I felt like Tom Thibodeau called him out a couple times. The Knicks called a timeout, and I think Tom Thibodeau chewed him out. And he tried to come back a little stronger, but it's still the same. So you come out a little strong, but Toronto just punch you right in your mouth and put you right back in your place. So shout out to the last team we played, OKC. OKC, aren't going to punch you in the mouth the way Toronto does. So that's the reason why RJ Barrett's not playing well today, and why he smoked the OKC. Because they're just not going to compete with RJ like that, especially with the way that that OKC substitutes. You know what I'm saying? So that they're always substituting. They never have as consistent guys out there. Toronto's a little different. They're always putting physical guys that can match RJ Barrett out there. That's why RJ Barrett's not really playing well today. Obi Toppin, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. He's a finesse player, man. Those 2 rebounds is killing us. He's playing 21 minutes. So that's a potential 42 minutes today. So you mean to tell me in 42 minutes he's going to give me 4 rebounds? That's no good, man. That's your power forward. Your power forward should be able to secure rebounds. He's not doing that. So 5 assists is nice. 7 points is good. I know people want to complain about him not getting the ball in transition. They're not finding him in the alley-oops and stuff like that. Come on, man. Listen, you're gonna put everything else on everybody else, but not on Toppin. Toppin got to rebound the basketball, bro. When you want to talk about blocks and stuff like that, I'm not really too worried about that because he is playing solid defense. But come on, man, rebound is absolute key. Taj Gibson is doing the best that he can, 5 and 5. I can't say nothing about Taj. Fournier sucks. He made a couple jump shots today. He got 9 points. No stats to be seen. He sucks. Fournier needs to get up out of here. McBride is above his pay grade right now. He got 4 minutes today, ineffective. Decent defense, but otherwise ineffective. Alec Burks is going to be needed today. 11 points today. Alec Burks is our MVP. I don't care what nobody says, man. He's been in and out the lineup 4 different roles so far this year, and it's only halfway through. And he keeps coming in. He adjusts, and that's it. Now he's coming off the bench. It is what it is. He's coming off the bench for McBride. I would be pissed as a veteran, but not Alec Burks. Alec Burks truly does the best, for the team. Emmanuel Quickly, it is what it is with him too. It's also hit and miss. 13 minutes played today, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He's doing what he can do. But I mean, same thing with Grimes. Grimes is decent, but Knox too played decent, but they're not doing anything to really impact the game. So they're kind of just wasting minutes out there, man. So it's hard to talk about. But I'm done here with that bullshit, man. So as I can see, Andy's like falling asleep, listening to me call the first half of this game. Let's get some of his opinions. It was great to see him. So let's talk to Andy. What's up, Andy?
Yo, what up, Iru? Happy to be on with you.
Yeah, man. Let me get you back up here. There you go. How's it going, man? Happy New Year, motherfucker.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Iru, listen. This game, I don't have any expectations. If these young guys pull it off, I'm going to be happy. If we lose, no, I'm not going to be happy. But listen, it is what it is, right? The last couple of games, we saw really bad basketball from the Knicks. Even though we got those 3 wins out of 4 games, I think those games were still ugly. Listen, the basketball that we play currently is nothing that's worth rewatching and analyzing and stuff like that. So
absolutely, man. Have you been able to do like the post game shows with Sim? Because I haven't been able to watch.
No, no, no. I'm not on the post game. I'm asleep. Turning
Okay.
around in my bed.
All right. So the pre-games, how's the yeah, how about the pre-games? Have you been getting in on them?
Yeah. I'm on the pre games because Sim does it early. So if you guys want to, look for a good pre game show with my intelligent basketball analysis and Sim, addition, you can see us there.
Okay. So how's the vibe? How's the vibe with everybody? With from the past week or so. What's the vibe with the guys?
Listen, plenty of guys just took a couple of days off. Sim had to do it, so we draw straws and listen, who's gonna join him on the show?
So
So
Sim took time off.
no, Sim didn't.
Oh,
Sim had to do it. The co-panelists, we were like, who's gonna do it with Sim today? And it was like, no, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass. Okay, so
oh
today's
my
me,
God.
today's Josh, today's Steph. So
Yeah, that's the life we live in right now. The Knicks are just not
yeah.
playing good. But like you said, it's the young guys really. But right now we're just missing Julius, right? Just Julius and Mitch and Will Nerlens.
Listen, I think this offense is so heavily based around Julius that if you take him out, these guys, try to run these plays with, a filler in Obi in that position, but he's nowhere near, Julius's skill set, right? So basically, you can say the offense is not going to work. So, so this is like a maybe not pick up basketball because we see that they try to run these plays, but they have way different outcomes. So
What would you do though? Like how what would you do to try to get these guys to work? Because I mean, like you coach basketball, you know what I'm saying? So what's your insight as far as that?
listen, I would never put this team in a situation that it's so heavily based on one dude. Um, like you said, and I saw the show that you analyzed that we had Kemba on the floor, but we never used his skill set. We're on the pick and roll for him and stuff like that. Listen, pick and roll is the easiest play in the game, right? You don't have to practice it basically with these guys. But if it's not going to be called, then the player's not going to know how to play it, and there's not going to be no cohesion with those guys, right? And there's several things that are connected to Julius that actually bother me. But and I actually called it on NBK show like a month in the season that this kind of situation that Julius would be out for 2 3 games wouldn't be so bad for the Knicks, but I want it to happen like really soon in the season so we would see who's gonna be the second option, the third option, and we have some kind of hierarchy of scorers, right? I understand it's not going to be like set in stone that today Fournier is going to be taking 20 shots. The next day, it's the next scorer is going to be RJ and stuff like that. But I think if we would have a more clear cut, build of this team, that would actually function a little bit better, right? Because if one guy is out or he's on the bench, the other guy knows that this is his time, that he has to step up. And I think that's still not clear for these guys who has to step up, and it's just kind of a hot potato, type of situation that we have currently happening with the Knicks.
It doesn't sound fun. None of that shit
Yeah.
sounds fun, man. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound fun for a player. It doesn't sound fun for the coaching staff. So for us as fans too, we got to call it every single game. We want to have these podcasts and give our opinion and stuff, but we can't give our opinion if what's happening on the court is so inconsistent. We just don't know. Like it puts us in a bad spot where we'll make bad takes, but we can only make the takes based on what's going on, out
Yeah.
there on the floor and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, like I said, this game's outcome, I'm not gonna be mad as long as they compete and put in the effort. I'm gonna be cool with that. Listen, because the Raptors those guys are basically healthy.
Yeah.
Fully. Isaac Bonga is on the protocol, right? That dude did get DNP after DNP when they were full strength. So I wouldn't be surprised if we catch an L here. But if these L's pile up in the easy, part of the schedule. No, if it's gonna get darker after, I think Sim said January the 23rd, we hit a really bad run in the schedule. So if we don't pull it together till that time, listen, the
Will you
future
pull the
might
plug?
be what State wants, a high draft pick.
Would you pull the plug though? This year in January? Let's say if that was to happen.
Listen, depending, what's going to be the situation. If basically the season is going to be lost, or we will have to win like 20 games out of 25, you got to pull the plug, right? Because that's stupid, right? Unless it's like if you lose, 20 games out of 25 just to stick in the fourth or the fifth position, then you play your ball, right?
Right.
That one spot, in the draft or in the draft chances, even that's not going to help you that much. And you don't want to ruin the culture, or teach these young guys that, listen, we don't have to play that much, and stuff like that. You want them to play for every possession of the season, and see that effort, right? So
Yeah, man, it sucks, man. Me personally, I don't want to pull a plug on the season. I would like to, if whatever is not working, if Tom Thibodeau sees that, or the coaching staff, maybe they have that olive branch between the front office and stuff. If they can come to a decision where they want to get rid of some guys to try to re-up and get guys that might fit a little bit better, then I'm with that to salvage the season, man. Because I really don't want to see like a point where we're just looking to just trade Fournier for nothing, get Kemba out of here, maybe even Derrick Rose at this point. You would have to get rid of just the salary just to prepare us for, the following season. I just don't want to go through that again.
yeah, listen, that's true. I don't think you should do like a fire sale type of situation. We
Yeah,
got the draft picks, but I was rather thinking, use those draft picks to pick up a guy like a Cam Reddish. Like even I was talking today in the Twitter group about that Kevin Porter Jr. kid. Listen, he has some problems, right? And he had problems with the Cavs. He has problems with the Rockets, but he's a talented dude. He has potential. And listen, I think if you have like 8 second round picks in the next couple of seasons, you're not going to be able to sign all of those dudes. So it's going to be basically a situation where the draft day is going to come up, and you can move a spot 2 or 3 up the draft board. But if you're not going to do it, we're going to see that the moves that Leon does every draft, and he's going to trade this year's picks for a future round, for a future pick, right? And
yeah,
that's not going to make fans happy. So I rather add a Cam Reddish, and I'd rather be in a situation when I have a Cam Reddish here than I have to sign a guy like a Damian Dotson, right? Or those 10 guys, 10 day contract guys that gotta help you out, and you need to rely on them, while Cam Reddish has a 36-point game.
right.
So that's basically, you gotta put those draft picks to use, because we got so many that we won't be able to sign them. So, and drafting them for the future round picks, and then drafting them again for the future round picks. Listen, you can't do it forever, right? So
Yeah, look at OKC. How many on draft picks did they got, man? I don't want to be like OKC.
yeah, but they're in a different situation. They don't have that. They got Shea, right? But they don't have, after Shea. Listen, those guys, you could trade them, and I don't think you can rely on a guy like Giddy. He
Right.
has some good games, but I don't think he's like a second choice on a team that you're gonna build around. So they basically got Shea, and I bet you that he's not going to be the franchise player there, because they're going to trade him, because he's not going to fit the timeline. They got
Yeah.
like 16 picks the next 3 seasons, but it's going to be Shea in a max deal, and all rookies around him. That's not going to work,
Yeah.
especially on the West. So yeah, they definitely will use those picks to get a vet here, a vet there, maybe an all-star even. But they're in a situation like basically the Knicks, where they gotta use those picks to get an all-star player, or at least a good vet, right? And if there's none available, you gotta
What
look
you
for
got to do?
those disgruntled guys, right? But those disgruntled guys not always gonna fit the culture you want to build with. So
Yeah. But Kevin Porter Jr., Cam Reddish, these type of guys, definitely we have to make use of these picks, man. We got to get real
yeah,
players out there to help out, especially Tom Thibodeau's there. Tom Thibodeau is an old guy, 60 something, so we gotta make it count. We gotta make this time period make it count until we can get to that next stage. And then that next
yeah,
stage, I don't want it to be like a wholesale, where we just wholesale. I want it to be like a conveyor, but at least where we just passing the torch over, because this is what we want to do as a franchise. I want to pass the torch rather than scrap it and start. I just don't want to be a part of that anymore.
yeah. Listen, and I told I think I was talking with Steph maybe on this. I think in this position in my life that I'd rather see the Knicks in the playoffs like 10 years in a row than even them gunning for a chip and then rebuilding it the next 10 years again, because
Yeah.
the last 20 years were terrible, except a year here and a year there, right? So
Yeah, we've been through a lot, man. As Knicks fans,
yeah,
just the last, not even the last 20 years, last like damn near like almost 35 years for me or whatever. I've seen so many different things happen. Even further than
yeah,
that, older fans, they can talk about the 60s and what they did to Clyde and what they did to various other people throughout the years, man. So I mean, we done seen everything, man. So, you know, I just don't want to have to go through that again. A whole
yeah.
nother.
I'd rather be a solid, maybe not like the 8th seed, the 7th seed, but if you get like a 4th seed here, a 3rd seed somewhere, and stuff like that. I rather see that, and be, I don't not walking with my head down here around here in Poland, man, and being ashamed of myself wearing Knicks gear. So,
Oh my God, I can't even imagine that. What's the time there right now? It's a 9 hour difference, right?
6 hour difference.
6 hours.
It's
Okay.
11 p.m. now. So
Wow, man. Yeah, so you're the man. So I mean, Happy New Year, bro. So how do you guys celebrate New Year's in Poland?
yeah, we celebrated 6 years sooner than you guys.
For real, man. I think
Yeah,
you
but
I think you were toasty by the time we started talking in the chat,
oh
right?
yeah, that's for sure, man. That's for sure, bro. I was actually, at my house we had only, another family drop by, and I was shocked because they have a 9-year-old month kid, and 9th month kid.
Yep, I got
He's a
you.
9, yeah, yeah. And they stayed like till 3:30 a.m. and I was like, dude, are these guys gonna go home finally? Because the OKC game was on, and I was like, they're gonna go home or what? And I decided I'm just gonna go to bed and watch the game in the morning, because I was like, I would have to like watch it till from halftime, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch it here now after the whole day of sitting with those guys. But
Yeah,
with this virus around, you know there were, you could do a party up to 100 people, like in pubs, clubs, and stuff like that. But listen, a club that has a capacity of 2,000 people is not going to do a party for 100, right? So
right. It's not
basically
worth
all of those
not even
things,
for the electric
yeah,
bill.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So they basically were all closed down. You could go to the city center like they have, the one in Times Square, something like that, and they didn't even do the fireworks thing, just some kind of light, laser thing. So yeah, and of course in Poland, neighbors got the fireworks, so still my dog was running around crazy.
Well, what I want to ask you, man, do they got do they have like a child services there, like an ACS there in Poland? Because I mean,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
3 a.m. they got a 9 month old for New Year's. That sounds
Yeah,
kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, and listen, whenever we meet, we play like cards and stuff like that. But one of out of the four, parents, it has to be sober. So in case something happens, one of us is sober. So
Somebody, well, hopefully the mother, right, or something, right?
yeah. That was the
Jesus
case this
Christ,
time. So
that is crazy, man. So while we talking, nothing is happening with the Knicks game. It's like
yeah,
I think we're down 60 to 50, 63 to 50 right now. So I
yeah.
mean, I wanted to talk next with you too, man. Just like you heard my keys at the end. I like to talk about the points in the paint, the fast break points, and the what do you call the second chance points. To me, those are three key stats. If the Knicks lose 2 out of 3 of those, we're gonna lose the game. So we were getting smoked in all three. So I mean, what do you look at for the game, or how can the Knicks get out this hole here?
Listen, unless someone gets really hot on the Knicks, there's no chance, Hero.
Yeah,
There's literally no chance that this is gonna happen. Listen, Quickly is having a bad game, and I said that he needs a good game. I'm not a fan, of his, but if we want to get this W or a W versus the Pacers or whoever, he needs to have a hot game and make those crazy shots that he's taking. I'm not gonna be mad even at him. He's playing terrible this game. He's losing, the ball. He's turning it over on passes, on everything. Bad decision making. Listen, for me, Fournier looks way better than Quickly. Not only today.
yeah, I agree with you. I just feel like quickly he's going through like an exercise. The way that he plays is like he's just going
Yeah.
through kind of like drills. Like this is what Tom Thibodeau wants me to do. I'm just going to do that, and that's it. He doesn't have any like the energy that he had last year. Him shooting shots and just driving the lane, the floaters. That energy is just not there anymore for quickly.
And Iru, I think what the situation with fans was a little bit different. And I think it was also with Tibbs. He played that kind of a hero ball, and he was making shots. That's why he got to be the fan favorite. If he would be taking those shots from day one and still not making them, man, he wouldn't be on the Knicks currently. The
Yeah,
only way that he has this kind of a leash is because he was hitting those shots last season.
right.
So
Yeah, I'm just looking at RJ. He was
RJ
posting up.
Van Fleet. Yeah, I see it.
Yes, unbelievable. I mean, he has no finishing moves, man. Like the only
Yeah,
way the RJ can really get into space is if he's in a pick and roll situation. Other than that,
yeah,
he has no creativity in the way that he scores the basketball.
yeah. And listen, and I saw the same thing with Shea Gilchrist Alexander on the OKC game, right?
Mhm.
That dude was making so many circus shots while driving to the paint. I was like, you can't practice these shots. It's like, listen, I know that some players are going to be lucky making them, but you can't build a career in the NBA on luck. If they had at least a consistent shot, I'm not asking 40% from three, have like 36, right? Cool. You got something else to base your offense on. But man, and it's looking the same thing with Obi. He can dunk. He doesn't have a post move. When he drives to the hoop, he needs like 2-3 dribbles to get that speed on. But if they're gonna clog the paint like they do versus Giannis, he's not gonna score a bucket.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
and listen, this season 3-point shooting from Obi, man, I swear you, with my one leg, I would shoot better from three than him. So
What he's shooting 20%, right? I think
yeah,
21% from three.
listen, 1 out of 5. It's. I'm not gonna lie. It's easy to get 1 out of 5. So
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing about it, so I mean you can say that, right? But Tom Thibodeau still got the guy hanging out by the 3-point line.
yeah,
It doesn't make any sense. They still want him to be in that position, but he, statistically every single night cannot shoot threes.
yeah, yeah. And listen, and would you remember before the season that Tibbs was talking about the centers stretching the floor and Netherlands that he's gonna be shooting threes? Listen, we see Taj taking those threes. We saw Netherlands like maybe tried to take one, but when the pass was coming his way, he was like already thinking about the three and he didn't catch the ball. So that was the one situation. Mitch isn't even, he's not even going to the 3-point line, because that would be, that would look stupid even, I'm gonna say, because he has, people show those videos from his workouts and he's playing with the gym with his friends around, that he's attacking from the 3-point line on the dribble. Man, that's not Mitch's game. It's not gonna happen in the NBA for like the next 3 seasons at least.
I'm telling you, especially the way that he shoots it. He kind of shoots it here, and he short arms it, and
yeah.
he doesn't go straight up. He's always on an angle when he shoots. It's like, that drives me crazy, because I mean, these guys, they're professionals. They have all the time to train and stuff. So the little things, the stuff that you're gonna use in a game, you should be perfecting that by your third season, your third, fourth season in the NBA. You should be, those things should be perfected by now.
And Iru, those things, like adding a thing to your offense or stuff like that, those things you practice in the off season. It's not like game 41 I'm going to start shooting threes. It's you're either gonna learn it in the off season and implement it straight up from the from game one, or maybe you can get a lucky shot here and there, right? But it's not going to be like, listen, coach, I practice it in offense on in the off season, just let me do it. He's not going to believe you.
So, remember that Patrick Ewing thing when the guy, he did some kind of Euro step move, and then he said, "When did you practice that?" Like, when?
Yeah. You didn't practice that shot, so why did you take it? So that's the exact mentality that should be around, actually.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So I mean, as we're talking, man, the Knicks got, I think, within 10, but it's still, the Knicks are just even. Yeah, it went down to 9. Yep, I think it was 59 to 50 at one point.
Fournier can't win this game by himself, man.
if we're relying on Fournier, man, we in trouble, bro.
Yeah, on one leg Fournier, because he got that ankle injured, sprained, and it's bothering him. We saw the first time out tips took, he was lacing up that shoe tighter, so man, he's not comfortable. And I was like, he probably is gonna sit him like after 3-4 minutes. Man, he played him the first whole first quarter. I was like, man,
yeah, Tom Thibodeau ain't shit, man. But if Fournier's up there, he's like running like his feet are on fire. Like it's hot, like the floor is lava. That's the way he's running.
Yeah, exactly. So, and listen, everybody's bashing Fournier, because I see, like, man, plenty of fans is bashing Fournier. I'm gonna defend the dude. We knew what we got before he even touched the floor. We knew that he's not the fastest defender. He's a smart guy on defense. You see, he's like the second or third guy on the Knicks in steals, right? He knows where to switch, how to switch, if they got it, the schemes ready, and everything is under control. He has it. He's just not fast on defense, and that's you saw it before. It's not like he's going to be as fast as a Grimes or a rookie, right?
Right.
So it's crazy for Knicks fans, to expect him play great defense. You see him trotting up the court, and he's not fast, right? But look at him. He's pointing out the guys. See, he pointed out to RJ. RJ didn't do nothing, and the guy shoot a 3 in front of him.
Yeah.
So
switching too, he's really good at switching, moving his feet, just the team defense stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not bashing Fournier on defense. Of course, there are going to be situations that the guy is going to lose him, right? Or he's going to go around him because he's way faster, and it's basically going to look like he drove around him, dancing circles, right? Listen, this is the NBA. Westbrook or Fox or whatever, basically those guys can do it around anyone, not only Evan Fournier. So, and about the other thing is, fans are going to say that he's not making shots. That's the percentage wise. You can't cheat that, right? We see that he's not making shots, but we really know that he's a rhythm player. And him playing the 2-man game with Julius, it's not getting him the rhythm that he needs. He's actually shooting 40 before, I think it was like 2 games ago, he was shooting 46 or 48.5% on open threes on open,
Right.
48%, right? So if he's missing that many and fans are pointing out that he's missing that many, that must mean that those shots actually aren't that wide open, because the stats, advanced stats on NBA.com say that he's shooting almost 50% on open shots. So listen, those numbers don't lie. Overall, of course I would rather see him maybe play a little bit more aggressive, but he's one of those guys that you can clearly see that he's not, on Team France, he's a leader, right? He doesn't want to come in as a new guy and tell Julius, listen, Jules, I'm gonna be the leader now, or I'm gonna take most shots and stuff like that. He's one of those guys that he has to be around. He has to see, how the teammates, treat him, if they're gonna follow him, if he says something like that and stuff like that. And I said it before the season. Listen, he has a certain certain how do you say it, way of leading, right? On Team France, he can bash a guy, but he was playing with him like on the national team for last 10, 12 years, right?
Right.
Or from the juniors. So they know each other like 20 years now. So he can say, a mean word to him or something like that. And Josh always tells this, listen, the NBA is a players league. Of course it is. But if, and this might also, going back, this might be the same situation with Kemba. I'm pretty sure that Kemba and Julius had a rift, and that's why Kemba got benched. I'm not sure if it was Kemba versus Tibbs. I think, Tibbs might have seen that Kemba is some kind of way, maybe undermining Julius's, leadership skills is a little bit too much. But I think, maybe they saw that they're not getting along that together, that they were thinking that it's going to happen, like the chemistry, right? So, and Evan is a smart dude. He's going to, lay back, see, and, if he's going to know that, there's a chance, maybe he's gonna take it, but he's not gonna risk it like Kemba. Kemba, after this, like what, 10 games or 15 games was benched for 10. So maybe he just, attacked the king a little bit too soon.
Yeah, well, as a coach, you got to self-preserve, because you don't want
Yeah.
to lose the team like the first week of the season. You got 82 games, to hold on to. So I understand the benching, because once he came back, Kemba was Kemba again for at least for a couple
Yeah.
games. But now he's like, his knees are hurting him again. But I mean,
Yeah.
to me, it all comes back down to coaching, man. Because I mean, there's so many different things that we can do that just not working. You're right about Fournier. I agree with everything you said about Fournier. But as a coach, you got to know these things, man. Like, you spend the off season, these guys watch a lot of tape. He's been in the league forever. It's not like he's not like a new player.
Yeah.
So at this point, at this point, the writing is on the table. The scouting report is there. So I mean, like, why can't we take advantage of our strength as a team?
Yeah, and listen, and I'm not asking Tibbs to build the offense around Fournier, but he had plays for guys like a Kyle Korver, right? Or for those shooters. We barely see, Fournier get like 2 screens and that Reggie Miller play or whatever. He's not using that kind of an offense. And even Obi after the OKC game, he said that this offense is based on reads, right? So the guys are basically, bringing up the ball. The point guard is, making a move or a choice of a side, and the guys are reacting to whatever the defense is giving them.
Yeah.
And as far as Fournier, he needs to lose his guy, because he doesn't have that fast first step. So, and if he's not making shots, those guys are not going to bite on that first step, so he can get separation, right? So he relies on players, on his teammates, right, to get open. So, and if that's not going to be in the offense, you're not going to be using Fournier to his potential. And that's why his contract is looking, for most fans bad, because they were thinking, listen, we got, Reggie Bullock. He was taking, 6, 7, 8 million, and Fournier is getting twice as that. Fournier's skill set is way better, just we're not using it. So
yeah, we want we have Fournier playing Reggie Bullock's role. That's absolutely wrong.
And it's like if you would have Miles Turner and you get him on this roster to stretch the floor, but you put him in a situation like you put in Mitch, right? That he's not able to go through the 3-point line even. And you're going to be like, oh, with the Pacers, he was taking threes. Meanwhile, here he's not even, looking at a 3-point line. Listen, that's tactics, that's schemes. That's not the player.
Right.
If he was taking those shots, he would probably do. And if the coach doesn't want him to do, he's not going to be, playing his offense or whatever. So,
right. Well, you mentioned
Fournier, yeah, and Fournier, just to add this on the Fournier topic, he's not gonna, take 2-3 guys aside and tell them, listen, get me a double screen or something like that so I can take a shot. They're not gonna, break a play that Tibbs calls, and he basically calls every play from the sidelines, and he's gonna say like, listen, Obi and Kevin, just get me those 2 screens. I'm gonna try to take a 3. So
right.
that would be crazy. So
a lot
and they're
of
not gonna
fans think they
sabotage
do
their
that.
coach. So
Yeah, a lot of fans think that Kemba Walker should just call his number. He should just call for a pick. He should just do that. That's just not how it works. This is organized basketball. That doesn't work on any level.
Listen, the last time I saw something like that work was when Pablo Prigioni was the Knicks point guard, and he broke a play, but it went way better than the play that was designed. And the coach was like, "Oh damn, we can add that as an option to this play." But Pablo was such an intelligent guy that, listen, when he saw the passing lane or stuff like that, and he saw it for from the sidelines and then on the court, and he noticed it for several times. One day he just broke out and he just made that pass, and it looked so easy and so fun, right? So
yeah. But Pablo has the green light for that. They trust him. He has the experience and stuff.
Exactly.
But in this offense, everybody should have that thing because it's a read offense. So you made a big point with the Korver thing. Like Tom Thibodeau actually ran sets for Korver to take advantage of what he does. And Korver had a lot of big games for the Bulls when he played for them. But another guy, Joakim Noah, man, Joakim Noah was basically the quarterback of their offense there. Even though they had Dirk Rose, Joakim Noah was the quarterback of the offense. So that shows too that you know how to set up offense from the big man position. So why are we still making Julius Randle into LeBron James, making him do stuff that he shouldn't be doing? He should be in the Joakim Noah role for us.
Yeah, and listen, he has the passing abilities, right? I'm not saying that he's on the level with Joakim Noah, because he's not. The IQ of Joakim Noah, you can say whatever you want. That dude was smart on the court.
Yeah, absolutely.
And listen, and he was playing a little bit higher around the free throw line, but he could turn around to the hoop, and he could pass, with his back to the hoop, whatever. Julius is, but you know what the difference was? The difference was that Noah was getting the ball and he wasn't dribbling it.
Right.
He was leaving that dribble as an option if they, locked him up, double team him, and that was his, escape card. If Julius gets the ball and he stops on the, free throw line and picks up his dribble,
he's dead.
That's he's dead. He's like, that's a turnover. So
yeah, but it's all strategy, man. I feel like the Knicks could be so much more organized than they are. Yeah, right now the game is getting out of hand. It's on 19 points right now, 94-75. You just finished the third.
Yeah, exactly now. Listen, I'm surprised that Deuce McBride isn't on Van Fleet. We saw him do it in the first quarter, and Van Fleet wasn't that good. Meanwhile, now we got someone else on him, and magically, stuff is getting out of hand.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, man. We did lose Julius Randle, but according to the fan base, we don't need Julius Randle. Julius Randle's the one holding everybody else back, so he's not there. So the excuse that we're short, I kind of don't want to hear that from nobody. You can't say, oh, we didn't have Julius, we would have won if we had Julius. But the whole fan base is saying that, thank God that Julius Randle got COVID protocols. So we can't go that route now. This is the team that everybody wants to see play.
Yeah, and I think but most fans are crazy like that. That they're gonna say that we were better without Randall. We're not a better team without Julius Randle. And listen, I wouldn't be surprised if the situation, for example, he tore an ACL or something like that, and the
Oof.
season would be over for him. I wouldn't be surprised if they would scrap this team because starting with Julius, even the move would be made or something like that, because I don't think it's possible for this team to lose the highest paid player. That was the pillar last season. He's playing bad basketball now. Maybe bad like efficiency wise and stuff like that. So listen, it's gonna happen, right? Adjustments were made towards him. The double teams, they figure it out. The coaches are using the tactics that were working last season versus him. Listen, that he needs to make the better decisions, but that's not only with him but for most of the squad. And I think cohesion is still a big thing with this team. We added two guys to the starting lineup that didn't have any playing time with the guys except for what preseason games. So, and we saw it last season we were also, at this point, we were sucking. That's the truth. We
Yeah.
picked it up when D Rose came. That was some kind of I don't know, impulse, however you want to call it. And after that we picked up the game was looking a little bit better, and we actually
I think D
played.
Rose added balance to the force,
Yeah,
right? He was like
yeah.
the Jedi that came in and just kind of like made it okay, But the next step was Fournier and Kemba, and that was, as we could see, that was a bad decision on our part.
Yeah, but maybe not the bad decision, because Kemba was risky, right? Because we knew that you never know what you're gonna get with his health, right? Because his knees, some guys are gonna say that they're shot, like Gmo says it always. No, listen, they might not be shot, but I don't think you can build with a point guard like Kemba and think that in 2-3 years he's gonna lead you to a championship, right?
Right.
He's a stopgap player. He's way better than if we didn't have him, as far as I see it. But if we're not playing guys to their strengths, listen, you're not going to move forward. That's simple as that.
Yeah.
And listen, and also, when you said about Grimes, right, and Reggie Bullock, those guys are really similar players. Both play D, both take 3-point shots. I'm even more confident with Grimes' shot than with Reggie Bullock's, right? Because Bullock was hot and cold, and that was like really inconsistent. And he's a vet, right? Grimes is a rookie, so you got to take that in account, that he's going to be streaky, and he's not going to be that kind of a consistent player, even shot maker. But they got similar skill sets. So why people want to trade Fournier suddenly? Just play just play Grimes instead of him. If they're not going to use him, good. I'm not going to be mad. Listen, I'm tired of defending French Knicks players.
Yeah, according to State, I agree with him too, man. I don't want to see another French player ever on the Knicks roster, man. Frank Ntilikina all the way back to Frederick Weiss, and
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
It's not meant to be, man. Unless and you. But listen to this. I was thinking, and I was saying this to Sim, and I think it was Tony after yesterday's shoot around. What's going to be that? Because you know that Tibbs doesn't have Johnny Bryant, Kenny Payne, and Daisy Hashimoto at this point on his bench, right? Because they're all in protocol.
Really?
So,
Oh snap! I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. So he has like Andy Greer and those guys that have the band-aids in their pockets. The assistant coaches, are those guys are their assistant coaches nowadays. So
Right.
yeah, but listen, what's going to be the situation when Tibbs get into the protocol? If I'm expecting a guy like Johnny Bryant to be because he's the lead assistant, right? So he's gonna be the coach, the interim coach, whatever you want to call it, right? But will Tibbs be like, listen, just play this defense and this offense, or versus this team and that team. Utilize my game plan. Or he's like, listen, I got 10 days off. Do whatever you want. But because if that will work and the offense will look totally different, man, Tibbs would be on the hot seat.
Absolutely.
And not only put there by State, because State would put him, on the hot seat if he only could. So,
you would think that Tom Thibodeau would have had like COVID like 4 times at least. The way that he because he never sits down. He's always up. He's always walking around. He never has his mask on. Today they're forcing it because that's Toronto.
Sure.
Yeah. That's a great point though, man. If he ever goes down where he can't be there to coach the team, how different would another coach do? Would they stick with the game plan, or would they do their little tweak that they want? They've been
and listen, because it would be I'm not gonna lie, Tibbs loves his game plans and stuff like that. But if you're not there, you're gonna put your assistant coach in such a bad situation that he won't have basically the decision making for himself, right? So I think if Tibbs is gonna be out, I think you gotta tell your assistant coach, like, listen, do whatever it takes to get a W. And then he has like the carte blanche. He can do, everything. Change the defense, change the offense, whatever, right? And I would love to see just something else. Listen, if we're gonna be losing games, one game with another offense, or 2 games with something different, maybe unlock some players. So I would gladly see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Also too, like the NBA is like an unforgiving league too, because like if Johnny Bryan assumes the interim role, in the meantime while Tom Thibodeau has COVID, this is like hypothetical. If Johnny Bryan doesn't do well, he'll never get a job again. People just remember that. So it is what it is with that. It's self-preservation in this league. Yeah, man.
Yeah, true.
So I never shouted out anybody, man. So there's a lot of guys having conversations in the chat and stuff. So Geraldine was the first one. I just kind of skimmed through it. Like some of the regulars are here. I see some people that are not usually here. State was asking for a link. I did give him the link. I sent. If State is listening, I sent it to your Twitter, man. So if you want to get in, jump in on the Twitter. Once again, shout out to everybody else. I am Jarrell. Queen's Court popped in too as well. A couple other regulars too, man. Definitely. So thanks for tuning in as always, especially people in Facebook. You guys are coming in. My pops is there. Where's my pops? He always says hi, son. But the full cast is here in the chat, man. So I see you guys. I appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out with me and Andy. Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming in too, man. I know you've been asking every time there's like an early game.
Early game, yeah.
But for me, it's so hard for me to get in these early games because usually I'm working. Today, I just happen to be off today.
Yeah, cool. And listen, maybe I could do some Friday and Saturday games where I can sleep over, the next day. But man, the ending of the year, the dudes are changing so many tax things when you have a company. So I had to, close out the year really heavy. And I was also in the protocol for like, I don't know, from like December 10th or something like that for 10 days. So I was trying to run my company from the bed. So I was like, it was hard. So I had to, catch up with all these stuffs.
So what do you run? What's your company?
It's basically, you can call it probably in US a printing house, an ad agency, something like that. So,
okay. That's what's up. That's why you guys have all this time to be doing all this Knicks stuff, man. Because you guys are working from home or working from your computers and stuff.
Yo, listen, I'm always working, from the company. I gotta basically drive there, but since there's a time difference, it's like 9 p.m. here. So my children are asleep. My wife's reading a book. I got time, to sit around the PC and talk with the NBK fam. So
yeah. Yeah, that's what's up, man. I got to start. Well, this year, that's my. If you want to call it resolution, that's my resolution. I want to just just go crazy with the content because I've been taking a step back. Just for the mental health thing. Mental health, trying to like calm myself down a little bit. But I think I'm ready to start really like going crazy again. Just doing podcasts. Like I'm nuts. Like I ain't got no like I got like I don't have nothing else to do in my life.
Yeah,
That's what I would
exactly.
like to do this
Yeah, I
year.
got a resolution too, man. I'm trying to learn some kind of a software that I could edit video, so I can point out, good plays, bad plays of the Knicks, because I will only use it for the Knicks content, right?
Right.
But that's my resolution for the last 5 years. So
Well,
I
there's
hope this year is gonna be the year. So
okay. Well, I have an app that I use. You have to pay to get some of the features, whatever. I can't think of the damn name of it right now. But there's an app that I use on my phone that that's basically my editing software. But just like you, man, like I have stuff that I want to edit that I just said fuck it, I ain't doing it no more because
yeah,
it's just so time consuming.
yeah, and it's hard to get these free videos from game, so you can I know that NBA has that site that you can basically choose a player and choose his stat, and they're gonna highlight player versus, for example, you click on the steals, right? Or for example, Deuce McBride, they're gonna show steal 1, steal 2, steal 3, right? Play by play
Okay,
by play, but you can't download the video.
right.
So, if I was able to download it and then, draw over it, that would be all I need. So,
You gotta do a screenshot. What do you call it? Screen recording?
yeah, like save it from the screen. But, NBA.com has this, it's got it blocked. So you can't do it.
Yeah,
It's going to be a black, a black rectangle. So,
yeah, you're right. ESPN does that too.
yeah.
Um, which is good though. I don't know if you have that the MSG Go app. Do you mess with it? Are you
No, no, no. I don't have that. Not in Poland.
okay?
ESPN got us blocked, MSG. Nah, man.
I don't want to make it hot, but the MSG Go app, you're allowed to record off that app. So I do some if I do
Oh,
do that, I do some recording off the MSG Go app. I
yeah. I
don't want to
need
make
to,
it
I need
hot.
to check it out though. I got to check it out though.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, so it's good talking to you, man. The guys in the beginning, they were happy to see you, but me and you, we get into the basketball talk, man. We we weren't even able to acknowledge some of these guys, in. But yeah, everybody's happy to see you, man.
Yeah,
You're one
cool,
of
cool.
the favorite guys
Uh,
with the Knicks fan.
just after stay, right?
Well, just the MBK also, man. Everyone. I think out of everybody wants to see you, man. But you're in Poland, So if you ever
Nah,
come
I
out this
think
way,
I
man,
think
forget about it.
I think Steph is the beloved one. She's got knowledge on basketball, man.
Yeah,
And
she's good.
I think fans realize it, because she brings up so many good points that I when I go after her, I was like, yeah, I agree with Steph. So
Right. Yeah, if you
yeah, but
ever confused or don't have a good point, just say, "Oh, well, I agree with Steph.
yeah,
Steph
but
sounds like she knows what she's talking about."
we have some guys on NBK that got nicknames, got their own voice sound. Sim does it for Isaiah, for Nate. There's some guys that are fan favorites, but on the comedy side rather.
Yeah, got bad take Nate,
Yeah, bad take, no take, Nate. The Sim
no
calls
take
him.
Nate. Yeah. Yeah, he's crazy, man. There's a lot of crazy characters out there on this internet, man. But that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, fun. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Steph is a natural though, as far as like being an anchor, because one thing she has
Yeah,
the respect of the panel most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you go on her show. When I'm on her show, I'm like on my best behavior. It's like, oh, I don't want to disappoint her. You got that feeling when you talk about her. You know,
yeah, 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 yeah. But she's really good, like you said, man. The content that she thinks about, I'm trying to point out extra stuff, but I got so many ideas, but I'm like, for one, I wouldn't I would love to do it myself, but since I know that I'm such a lazy dude when it comes to this, and I don't have time to do it, because it's time consuming, man. It's
yeah,
really time consuming when you think about it. So when my kids maybe grow up a little bit, because my son is 12, so that would be cool, but my daughter she's 5 now, so that's the age that you got to stick the time with the kids, right? And if she would be like 10, man, I would just lock them up upstairs and just do the content stuff. And and the rest, and I actually would enjoy it, and I know that I'm gonna enjoy it one day. But and I don't want to do it like, let me do like one show or two shows, and then it's gonna end, right? I know that when I put my head into it, I want it to last long. So I also don't want to disappoint Sim, because that would be probably on his channel. I don't want to disappoint him, so I'm not gonna put out some whack content.
Yeah. Sim is the man. We call him the Pod Father for a reason, man. He extends so many olive branches out to everyone else. Not everybody takes it, but the people that do, you can see from what's happening on the channel now. He has he's really a true fan. A fan
Yeah,
podcast. True fan
exactly.
podcast.
Yeah,
Kept
and
it
the other one is Freezy. Freezy also does a great job with this. He was on the NBK, shows early. Then, I was always laughing with this, because I don't know if you saw the interview that Freezy had with Ron from Still Knicks Fans.
okay. Recently?
Yeah, you gotta watch that, because Ron was asking Freezy how he got into the streaming and the podcasting, right? And Freezy Freezy was like, "Oh, I was on Sim Show so many times, and I wanted to speak up, but there were so many people that I didn't have the time that I wanted to speak up." And I was like, "Oh, damn, that was probably Mark on the show. He didn't let nobody speak back then." So
Yeah.
I was laughing that Freezy started his channel because Mark didn't let him speak.
It's true, man. Sometimes MBK, especially when things are going crazy, it can get kind of hectic. You can't even get a word in
Yeah,
half the time.
and Euro, back in the day, man, when there was like, what was that app we used before appearing and stuff like that? We were like in the
Oh
in the
yeah,
green room, and Sim just brought people up, like unmuted them. Man, we were having the two other shows, in in the green
and one,
room.
yeah. The green
Yeah,
room
so
was like lit in there, man. You can barely hear
yeah,
yourself too. You couldn't tell if Sim put you in the regular stream or not. It was just like nuts, man. I
yeah,
remember that.
exactly. Yeah, listen, we would be having conversation like 2 hours after after the show. Sim would like end the show, and then we would discuss it, and names were being called back then. So now
Yeah,
it's like you said, best behavior on NBK, and there's a high standard there.
yeah, definitely. Because that backroom talk, man, is definitely like explicit material back then. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Oh, that was hot, man. I was
yeah,
recording it for a bit, man, because we wanted to do it like something like a paid content, so people could listen, to those takes back then. But
that's a good idea. Actually, some
yeah,
Patreon
but
shit.
yeah, something like that. But man, that will have to be like rated R.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. Yeah, the Knicks suck, man. Knicks are
Yeah,
terrible.
listen, I'm watching this game, but there's not many positive things that we can say. So
Yeah, so don't say nothing. Right? That's
yeah, rather
basically what
skip
we're doing now.
skip through it.
Yeah, like I got little kids too, man. So I have a 5 and a 7-year-old. Plus, I'm married to the whole marriage thing. You gotta make time for everybody. So like this
Yeah.
thing, doing these podcasts is a marriage in itself too, man. So you like it, people actually sit, they like, yo, what happened to you? How come you didn't, I've been looking for you, whatever, that type of thing. So you almost feel committed to just putting stuff out for guys to hang out with you and stuff, man. Because people invest time in you. So you feel like you're obligated to be there for everyone, So
Yeah, exactly. And listen, I think my wife would be happy with me doing these shows and podcasts, whatever, because she rather have me in the house than going outside getting drunk. So she would be like, okay, just sit in that room and get that mic up or something like that. So, but
yeah,
I need to grow into that. I want maybe not everything to be perfect, because but at least I want to have that idea that, oh my god, did you see that block on Burks?
yes,
Oh
that's it. I'm seeing it all, man. Obi Toppin pissed away a post move too.
yeah,
You know, a layup also driving to the basket. He pissed away a layup. This is
yeah.
unbelievable.
This is but at least I want to have the calm conscience that I did everything I could for it to be this kind of level show, right? So
Yeah, Yeah, you said it's better that you're doing this stuff so you stay out the bars, not getting drunk and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. That.
This show, not for nothing, is keeping me away from the bars too, man.
Yeah. So
I'm a when you start drinking and stuff and that type of thing, doing it often, you get yourself in a lot of trouble out there. So thank God for the Knicks to keep me, to keep my marriage intact. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
yeah, definitely want to keep that in the right thing. At least for now.
Yeah.
While the kids are little and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on with the fantasy, man? Because I mean, we got 2 leagues going and no content. We were supposed to be doing
Yeah.
fantasy stuff. So
It was supposed to be this season, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Listen, this week in the NBK league, I remember Marty Nick. He wanted to beat me so bad, so I'm laying off. I'm 1-8 versus him. I want to, let him get this W this week. And from next week, I'm going to be playing Marty. So,
okay,
but for real, listen, because of these, protocol things, man, this fantasy league, it went to a different level, man. You gotta pay attention. Sometimes a guy gets injured, you have to sub him and stuff like that. But with these protocols now, you gotta check it like 3 times a day.
yeah,
So it's really time consuming. You can do the auto stuff, right? The picking, the selections of the team. But if you got a good guy and he gets in the protocol, you basically the whole week can be shot
yeah,
because of that, right? And if you got like your top 2-3 picks get in the protocol, man, it's gonna be hard to get a W that week. So, and last week I think I won 8-1 with someone, and this week I'm losing 1-8. So
yeah.
it's just that kind of a situation.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like me too. I got a lot of guys. Some of the guys in the chat, they were asking me to switch it. I was trying to do it. I almost deleted I almost deleted my league by accident because I was trying to change the
Yeah,
to
the
give us
settings. Yeah,
more, yeah, to give us more injury things, man. But I'll mess around with it again to see if I can adjust it. But I think it might be over now, right? As soon as we get into
yeah,
February, I think everybody will be good with the protocol stuff by then.
yeah. But didn't you hear? I think Vogue said like half an hour ago that a guy from Portland got into the protocol second time this year.
Second time? Oh
This
my God.
Yeah, Anthony Gill or something like that. And of
Yeah,
course,
man.
the first comments are under that tweet. Who?
Like Anthony Gill, who the fuck is Anthony Gill?
Yeah. Who he played for?
Yeah, for one thing, he need to close his windows or something, man. Motherfucker keep getting COVID.
Yeah.
What's the matter with that cat? Yeah, man. They got what's the guy Watanabe, whatever his name is, the Asian dude on Toronto. He's playing. You got Malachi Flynn is playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this game
Yeah.
is done, bro. This game
Yeah.
is like with like 5 minutes left in the game. The game is done.
Yeah. And now we have all the young guys out. McBride, quickly, Obi, Knox, Rhymes.
Unbelievable.
So it's not gonna be, and look at our bench. I see only Fournier there. I think Taj went already, to the dressing room, to the locker rooms.
So what do you think or like what would be a nice roster, to let's say if we could fix the roster, how would you do it? Fix the
Listen,
situation, how would you do it?
I rather look for the solution in the schemes and the offense and the defense and the tactics, because it's way easier to fix it that way than just move pieces around. If there would be like 1 or 2 blatant guys that don't fit, it will be easier. But I really think that both Kemba and Fournier are, used not correctly to their strengths. So, if we are not gonna tweak the offense to use their best skill set, you could trade them. But I'm not just trading them because I want to trade them. I think we didn't do everything to utilize them correctly. So I'm not gonna just dump guys because their skill set is not that bad. It's just not used correctly for as far as I see it. So, of course, I would use those picks to acquire a guy like a Cam Reddish, because there was news out that for a first rounder pick he could be taken. So,
Mhm.
bro, for a first rounder, you got to take, because we're gonna be having again a guy in the 20s, or maybe like 15s, and he's gonna be getting minutes. So I rather see Cam Reddish
Right.
out there, because he has a couple of NBA seasons under his belt. So maybe that would be a good move to have. But it would be major, mostly minor things. Listen, if this campus situation would it would go out like the knee injury is going to be longer, you would have to be looking for a vet point guard, I think, because D Rose is going to be out like what, 6 more weeks.
Yeah.
So that can be a make or break of the season. I didn't know that Rondo can be gotten from the Lakers, and now he got traded to the Cavs for for Denzel Valentine, which is already waived.
Right.
I think the Lakers would take for Rondo. They would, I think Rondo would be was available for like 2 second-round picks,
Do
and
do you
he's a
think
vet, and he's a vet point guard. That's what we we would need. But now the question, if he would mesh with Tibbs, man, Rondo
right?
is a hard dude to coach. If you don't play the style that he likes to play, listen, he's not going to be playing with LeBron. He's not going to be playing with anyone that there's no like guy that's going to convince him to play that way or this way. It has to be Rondo's way, and Tibbs is also a stubborn guy, so he's not going to adjust the offense so Rajon Rondo can pass the ball with his elbow or something like that, right? So
Right. Also, too, just like you said, just personality wise, I don't know how he would mesh with Julius Randle.
yeah.
Some of these guys, I think there would be a lot of clashing because Rondo's not one to hold his tongue at all.
Yeah, but listen, I think Rondo is actually one of those point guards that Julius might respect, because that's the other thing, that Julius needs a guy, a vet that he's gonna respect, and I think Rondo has the cachet, has the savviness, has the leadership that could work with Randall. And I'm not
Yeah,
sure did they play together in the Pelicans, because I think Rondo was on the Pelicans.
I think they did, bro. I think they
Yeah.
did.
So that would be a good situation if we could pick him up. But now, and Rondo was looking for a better situation for him to get playing time. So
Mm.
when D Rose got out with the surgery, and now Kemba's situation, I think he might consider the Knicks. But now it's
It's kind of too late now.
yeah, it's too late.
Yeah, so I'm with you in that way. Just like utilize some of the assets that we have to make lateral moves to try to plug in certain spots to try to improve that way. I agree with that because wholesale changes. Like a lot of guys seem to think that we can get De'Aaron Fox for nobody. They think we can get Ben Simmons for nobody. All these different guys, but once you get them in here, we're still stuck with the same offense, the same problem.
Yeah.
So are we going to
So
be able to change the offense and things that we do to fit around these new players? We'll still be in the same boat there.
yeah. So listen, it's every organization needs consistency. It goes with the front office, with the coaching staff, with the players. You can do changes and tweaks of the roster, but if
Mhm.
you're gonna mix it up, it's like half a roster is no, half a roster is no, half a roster is no. Listen, the first year we got Alfred and Julius, we stunk out the joint, right? But the second year, those guys were the same basically players. They didn't evolve their games, but due to cohesion, you saw how Julius played, and also Alfred. Everybody can bash Alfred, I don't care, but listen, he has more triple doubles than Kemba Walker, and it's like 3 times or 4 times more triple doubles in his career than Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
So and he had that was the Kemba's second or third career triple double. Yo, Alfred Payton had 3 triple double games in a row, I think, and that
Yeah.
says a lot for a point guard. Was he used the correct way? Maybe not. Fans weren't maybe appreciative of his defense and stuff like that because it didn't look good. But like we're always saying, this is the NBA. You play versus 29 best players in the world on your position. So, and I don't think you need a starting five of every player to have scoring prowess and be the skill set, right? So
Yeah, same thing with the defenders too. Like people seem to think that we can put 5 defenders out there and we're supposed to win every single game that way too.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think you got to mix it up. The team has to be balanced. And listen, if it's gonna work, it really needs cohesion and build balance. You got to have a little bit offense, a little bit defense. Like you said, in a perfect world, you would have 5 superstars that play both ends of the floor, right? That's never going to happen. And
Right.
if you have like 15 mediocre guys on offense and on defense, it's still not going to get you a chip. So
Yeah, it's not easy, man. It's not easy. As we can see, last year we made it look easy, but this year is a whole different ball game, man.
yeah.
Well, so we just got shot in the back of the head, man. 120 to 105. Knicks lose this one. Like you said, the expectations of this game, we all knew that we were probably going to lose this. Just based on what happened last game and all this, man. So I don't know, man. I really don't know what to say here. I'm anxious to see what Sim and those guys are going to say in the post game. You're going to hang out and do that?
No. I'm off, man. 2 podcasts in a day is enough for me.
Oh my
I'm
God.
going to be probably on the shoot around tomorrow. That's probably. But no. I'm not. Listen, if I wouldn't be going to work, I might have stayed. But it's almost midnight here. I gotta wake up soon to get to work. So I'm gonna pass on the post game show.
All right, man. Well, thank you for giving me your talents for the day, man. I love talking to you, man. You're one of my favorite guys. I love to hear you talk the game, man. It's almost like a sexual experience. You know what I'm saying? the knowledge, I'm just joking, man. But just like the knowledge, I love talking Knicks basketball with guys that know what the hell they're talking about and actually love the team. So, shout out to you, definitely. Man.
Thanks for that. That's a compliment.
Compliment, a little creepy compliment, but a compliment nonetheless. So, yeah, man. All right, man. So, I say goodbye to you, man. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. We got to do it more often. I wish we could do that. But, until next time, Mr. Andy.
Yeah. Till next time, Euro.
All right, man. Peace, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Knicks podcast.
Peace.
Yeah.